Wandering around here at Super Dirt Week on Saturday, waiting for things to get going after pretty much an all-day rain. If this name and face is familiar to you, well, you were probably at Glenn Donnelly's tracks. Let me see, Canandaigua, he was race director there. Pitt Stewart at Super Dirt Week for a long time. Right now, younger brother, much better looking brother of Dave Farney, Jeff Farney, is here with us right now. Gil Tag is trying to hand him a cookie. First of all, good to see you. How you been?
Doug, doing fantastic. Really happy to be back. A little excited. Looks like we might get something going here tonight.
Yeah, looks like it's fun. You and I were both talking. Biggest thing here, even though you haven't been, you missed the last 2, you said?
I missed the last 2 years, yep. And then it's been 12 years since I've been, I think it's 12 years since I've been with the organization. And, it's just so impressive what's happening here. It's just great to see everybody. I'm thrilled to be back.
And you have moments like me. We were just talking about this where we're fortunate that we know a lot of people, but sometimes the names just don't come to us right away. I used to wink at my wife during the banquets, and she'd go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. He never introduces me." And you had a little thing you had worked out with one of your girlfriends. You told me.
I'd often tell my girlfriend, "Listen, if I'm talking with someone and I don't know their name, I don't come out with it immediately. Just if I go to the ear, you just introduce yourself and help me out." And you see people here, especially at Super Dirt Week, that you only see once, twice, maybe three times a year.
Right.
So it's such a huge fraternity of great people. But we did have little tricks to try to figure out who people were.
I was talking to one of the young guys. There's a lot of young reporters who I talk with, because obviously I want to encourage them, and I'm sure you try to encourage people that are in the same shoes you were in at one point. They said, "You ever been to a Super Dirt Week like this before?" It's like, have we ever been to one that wasn't like this somewhat before, right?
This is how it is every single year. And the great part about it is you just have to be patient. You can't fight Mother Nature. Right. And I think they're doing a great job here. Now let's get things going here. It'll be exciting if we can get things going tonight.
Yeah, I think we had 1 year we were thinking there where we were in shorts and it was 80 degrees every single day, right? Late 90s, early 2000s maybe?
I think you're right with that. Interesting enough there, I saw some photos recently, and I was on pit road on the cinder track in shorts, and I thought, well, what was I thinking? But it was beautiful weather, and we don't get that often. But hey, great to be back. And
I remember 1 year when we were doing TV, it was snowing on the Sunday. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one.
Yeah.
I had opening days at Canandaigua in April that we had snow, run an event and then get snowed out the following weekend. It's New York State. The weather's all part of this, and that's what makes Super Dirt Week.
What do you miss about all this the most? Outside of the people, obviously, because that's the biggest thing.
I really do miss being involved. If the opportunity ever arose, I have a great deal of interest in coming back. I'm getting close to retirement age. I had a lot of difficulties before because I was working so much on my regular job and combining that with racing. It was real tough on me. But now as I'm getting older, I would love to be a part of it. But we'll see what the future holds.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, there's certain aspects of it that I'm sure you don't miss.
Doug, I really, I've been gone now long enough to, I think, mature and get older, believe it or not, as I'm in my 60s at this point, still maturing. I can't think of anything negative from it. I love where the sport's going. Having a chance to be at Bristol, for instance, and seeing the teams, how they present themselves now, it's incredibly professional now. They've come so far. The organization's just done a great job with bringing teams forward, with promoting the sport. Honestly, I'm glad that it was a part of my life. Maybe someday, hopefully, I could be something more in the future. But
yeah, totally different than the mid-'90s, let's be honest.
Absolutely different. But the people never change, and that's the great part. It's the people that make all of this really worthwhile.
I guess I'll tell you about the one thing I don't miss about actually working there is when you'd see two guys that you knew, that you respected, that are disagreeing, and you want to just jump in there and go, "Guys, come on," but we understand, right?
I think, Doug, for me, being a highly competitive individual, I always kind of understood that's part of the sport, and that's any sport for that matter. That, from time to time, there's going to be a little bit of a clash, but the great part about it is how you work together and kind of solve those problems and bring people back together. And that's really what I really enjoy doing. People used to ask me all the time, "How in the world do you put up with the things you do?" It was part of the sport. I mean, it's competition, and there's going to be tensions when you have competition.
Well, it's good to see you. If you come back next time, let's make sure we get together and have a cold one. We never really had to because we were always working, so we were always at the same places, but we never saw each other.
It's funny
once the event started.
They've asked me about, "Come on, have a beer, have a drink. You're not working, you're not doing anything." I still feel like I don't want to do that.
I don't either.
Later this evening, maybe that's another story, but right
when
now,
I get home,
I just want to see everybody and have a good time and enjoy the day.
Very nice seeing you again. You take care of yourself,
thanks,
sir.
Doug, for having me.
And again, you heard that. He's thinking about coming back, so if you look for a race director, somebody like that, who's been there and done that.
I've kind of made some comments here and there. I'd love to it, but we'll let the powers that be decide what goes on. But I loved what I did, and I'd love to be a part of it again.
You take care of yourself. Good to see you, man.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.